Morning, guys, from Proverbs 27, reading from verse 15 to 20. Verse 15, a constant dripping on a day of steady rain, and a contentious woman are alike. This verse repeated, and whenever there's a repetition like this, we need to take it to heart, and specifically the ladies, the wives, they need to know that because they're emotional, because they have a lot of feelings and grumpiness, there'll be a tendency to moan and be like a constant dripping tap. And so if we're aware of that, we can do something about it. For the husband, it says, he who would restrain her restrains the wind. He can't restrain the wind. And grasps oil with his right hand. You can't grasp something with oil with your right hand, it just slips away. And so in the same way, it's very difficult to control a contentious woman. Verse 17, iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And so we all different and different opinions, different people, but when we come together in love and there's a healthy conflict, it can actually do us good. We can learn to argue our case, we can see what holes there are in our thinking, we can learn to just be ready to defend. We need to know what we believe and be able to defend what we believe. And so as we do that, iron sharpens iron. Verse 18, he who tends the fig tree will eat its fruit, and he who cares for his master will be honored. If we don't care for your master, you, in a sense, cutting off the hand that feeds you. Going back to a marriage, if a wife and the husband don't love each other, you're hurting your partner, you're hurting the person who's one with you, and you're hurting yourself. And so by not feeding a tree, you're not going to produce the fruit. And so in the same sense, we need to care for our masters. Verse 19, as in water face reflects face, so the heart of a man reflects a man. So it's not just about the brain or the outside. The heart of a man, every man is an inner man, a soul, and that soul is what the man is about. It's what's inside your heart. So when you speak, you're not speaking from your brain, you're speaking from your heart. And so what's really important is, what is your inner man like? Because that's a reflection of who you are. Matthew 8, 5, 15, 18. But the things that proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and those that defile the man. Out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adulteries, fornications, theft, false witness, and slanders. And so you can choose with your heart to say things that edify and encourage, or say things that break down. Verse 20, Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied. Sheol and Abaddon, those are the place of the dead. Every single person is appointed for every man to die. The wages of sin is death. We're all born into sin, and we're all going to die. And so that grave can never be satisfied. And it's interesting to say, nor are the eyes of a man ever satisfied. And so we know that because we're in the flesh, the lust of the eyes can never be satisfied. And we see that people who are trying to achieve things, they never eventually get to whatever, winning that trophy, and they suddenly realize that hasn't satisfied. They thought it would satisfy, but it didn't. They chase after this, they chase after drugs, they chase after money, and they think, if I just get that one extra million, I'll be satisfied. And they get that million, they're never satisfied. And so these things, these pursuits, the lust of the eyes, never satisfy. We are only satisfied when we found in Jesus, and our relationship with Him is what satisfies. He provides the water that you will be satisfied. If you drink of Him, if you abide of Him, if you eat of Him, those things is what satisfies us. Just regarding the lust of the eyes, there's a case, Achan in Joshua 7:21, when I saw among the spoil of a beautiful mantle and Shinar, and 200 shekels of silver and a bar of gold. He says, then I coveted and I took them. And so we've got to make sure that as we see things, we covet, we don't allow that, we take that thought captive. David looked at Bathsheba. He had many wives. He should have been satisfied in those wives, but he saw and with his eyes, and then he coveted, and then he allowed that covet to turn into sin. And so as we see things and our flesh wants to take over, we need to take those thoughts captive and then turn away from that.